What's up with Midas? The item was pretty much dead and out of nowhere, everyone is building it. Is this actually a good item now? Some heroes were popular for getting it, CKs and lifestealers, that's fine. But you have pretty much half of the Ursas in Immortal games going for it, a ton of Voids and ODs, Quops, Pucks, Brewmasters, every hero going for Midas. The answer, as most things in Dota, comes as a combination of a lot of small bits. For starters, Midas as an item wasn't as bad as people made it look like. Building it gives you 40 attack speed, 120 GPM if you use it all the time, as well as a 1.85 experience bonus. For instance, Yasha, another one of the top tier low cost farming items, gives you 28 attack speed and no damage if you're a strength hero, and only 20 extra move speed instead of the percentage gain you used to get, which basically means you're getting more out of the Midas. The item was just not picked up enough because most of the cores that were being played in between TI and now don't really synergize with the item that much. Heroes like Luna, PL, Terrorblade, Lycan, Lina, Spectre, they all have specific items that enables them way better than Midas. So the item was forgotten. This is obviously very vague, but bear with me, we're going to expand on this. Note that most of the cores I mentioned are all agility heroes. The heroes that are popular in this patch are very different from that. Some of them are agi, but they don't really look like agility heroes. For example, Ursa. But in general, after the changes to stats, you need to understand that agility heroes lost a lot of their power in comparison to other heroes. Think it like this. When agility heroes lost their extra bonuses for having agility, they lost armor, attack speed, and move speed, whereas strength heroes only lost some magic resistance. Okay, so this is Bowie's little segment to justify why I think agility heroes got hit harder than most strength and intelligence heroes. First of all, strength gives you HP, HP regen, and magic resistance. After the changes to HP regen being calculated linearly with strength and all strength heroes getting strength gain buffs, they still have a lot of HP regen. This level 6 lifestealer with just one wand has almost 5 HP regen. So yeah, maybe this was reduced a bit, but not only HP regen is something cheap and easy to itemize, a lot of the popular strength heroes like Lifestealer, CK, and Timber already have very high sustain because of their abilities. While strength heroes were getting 22.5 HP regen per point of strength, and now they only get 20, the strength gain buff makes up for a decent amount of it, since 15% more strength gain means that they are effectively getting 23 effective HP per strength in the old patch. And I mean, there's magic resistance too, but it is pretty garbage. 100 strength gives you about a 6% increase in magic resistance. And when you compare that with the agility heroes, they are losing things that are way harder to come by. There's no cheap solution for attack speed or armor. I mean, there are branches, but you only have 6 slots in your inventory. While strength and intelligence heroes got hit in HP and mana pool and regen, these things affect them way less than agility heroes, especially when you start scaling in the mid-game. Intelligence heroes did lose a little bit of their amp and magic resistance, but overall, their damage is bound to their skill set, and it doesn't affect their ways to farm and fight as much as it affected agility heroes. So strength heroes are now better than they used to be, but at least way back in the day, what happened most of the time is that strength cores like Nakes, Chaos Knights, and Sven would always be on a timer regardless of what happened. You would get items like Armlet and Blink and BKB to use your power spikes and win the game fast. But right now, you get gold at a slower rate. Trying to bank on those early power spikes is rather risky because your timings are fragile and narrow. You also don't get those free lanes with a tri-lane versus a solo offlaner anymore, which means strength heroes needed a better way to play, and Midas just seems to work. Not only getting into level 10, 11, and 12 is harder now, you get less gold farming lanes, and you're already a strength hero that doesn't farm well. Midas fits nicely, especially because strength heroes rarely go for attack speed items. Yeah, you can get a Sanjin Yasha for instance, but that's still less attack speed than a Midas, and you don't have the main like you used to, which would help strength heroes being kited. And I'm not saying that Sanjin Yasha is bad, on the contrary, but Midas just seems to fit these strength heroes because they are hard to kill, so they can just stay in lane, farm, not spend their gold, and still farm just fine, which is not the case for a lot of the agility heroes. And what about the Pucks and ODs, Bowie? It's not only strength heroes going for this, in fact Ursas are going for Midas very frequently as well. As I said, the answer is long, has a lot of parts, and I'm pretty sure I will miss a few in this video, but going back to the question, what about Pucks and ODs? OD is a right clicker, attack speed is awesome on him, he's relatively hard to be ganked, and scales very nicely with levels, and that is one of the things we yet to discuss. 2 years ago, when talents were not a thing, it meant that Midases in general would just help you with gold, but getting experience after a point was pretty underwhelming. There were very few heroes that actually used that Midas experience super well, whereas now, with level 25 talents and level 20 talents being a thing, a lot of heroes can get away and benefit greatly from the item. Against some heroes and compositions, going blank on Puck doesn't necessarily gives you kills, or maybe it can give you kills, but very early blanks means fighting and diving towers, which rarely gives you kills without you dying as well. Midas Puck just gives you the chance to benefit from his awesome talents, and it also means you can get fast travels, and a lot of Pucks are abusing the fact that you can use travels and TP scrolls to split push the map and become this unstoppable force that never allows the enemy to push against you. That's also in a way why Ursas are going blink after Midases. Yeah, maybe you can get blink and fight a couple of kills, but Ursa falls super hard, and the more aggressive you play, higher are the chances that eventually you will die once and twice and suddenly you're just garbage. Since Ursa also really needs levels to make use of the blink, and getting to level 10, 11 and 12 is harder, Midas is just a nice investment into the future, since kinda like Lifestealer, he is a lane dominator that can just stand there for enough time until you farm the item. A hero that we did not see much during the minors and majors, but that is starting to explode, is Viper. He does exactly what we just mentioned, but usually in the mid lane. He falls off, he has problems farming, but he is one of the few break ability heroes in the game. People kinda ignore him for a while, but a lot of players are trying the Viper Midas and are having success with it. There are many other small changes that we can attribute to Midas being popular. Back in the day, having a Midas meant that people had dead gold, quote unquote, so the reaction the teams had at the time was playing aggressive to punish the Midas, but that's way harder to do than before. If you have the pushing heroes, for instance, they will be slightly delayed in gold to finish the items and abuse their power spikes because of the melee creep changes, meaning that you will naturally give them more time to keep farming. Pushing heroes usually rely on their skills, like the Aura and Boar for Beastmaster, Divine Favor for Chen, but getting into that level 9 territory with 2 skills maxed is harder to do, so the game basically got slowed down artificially, making the odds that a Midas pays itself higher. Towers got more armor, Vlads and Aura items got nerfed, towers give more armor, and most pushing heroes are relatively weaker than they were. The game slowing down and the fact that attack speed also translates to illusions means that heroes like CK can just go for it and still feel very strong. Even random heroes like Spectres that had good lanes are going for Midas if they want. Many heroes have insane talents at level 20 and 25, and as long as you're a decent right clicker, you might benefit greatly from it, sometimes even if you're not. Obviously, going Midas on 5 heroes is not advisable, and more often than not, what we are seeing is cores, not supports, going for Midases, with very few exceptions. Guys, thank you very much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I know I've been out for a while, but hopefully this video kinda makes up for it. ESL Katowice starts tomorrow, and unfortunately I'm still having trouble actually dealing with some of the Patreon requests that I had, but I will deal with it as soon as the tournament ends. So if you don't know about my Patreon, maybe check it out. I also have a Twitch where I will be casting the games, and this time with an analyst, so I think that's going to be pretty cool. I have a Twitter where I talk Dota and memes, and there's also an Instagram and Discord channel in the description if you're interested. Thank you very much. Hope you're having a good day. Bye.